And welcome to this session of Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host, and with me today is Matt King from our electric co-op or electricity provider in town. Matt King is you've been with them for how long?
I've been with them since 2016.
Okay, very good. So you're going to be telling us, giving us some information today about something that's coming up on May 1st. It's called the PCA. What and why is the PCA happening?
A PCA stands for Power Cost Adjuster. And what it is, it's a mechanism that allows utility companies to collect or actually in some cases refund funds that represent the true cost, in our case, for our electric power that we purchase on the market. And so what the PCA allows for when power costs come in over budget, it's a mechanism that allows us to collect the difference and in our case, we have chose to spread it over a 12-month time period. So instead of spreading costs and hitting members monthly with a large increase, if there was a large deficit the previous month, it allows us to spread that over 12 months and collect the difference in our power costs versus the budget for power. And then in some cases, even if power comes in under budget, there's a mechanism that allows us to, you can see the power cost adjuster go down, and which would come back as a refund towards the member.
And we as a co-op or an electric company are not in this boat by ourselves either. You were talking about the banker you were talking about?
One of our lenders recently came and met with us, and the particular gentleman that came and spoke with us, he represents, he has 40 other utility companies as clients. And something that struck us, we asked the question of how many of the companies you represent use a mechanism like this. And he said, well, of the 40 clients I represent, 39 use them, which indicating that at that time, Valley Electric was the only utility company that he represented that did not have an active PCA in place.
And you mentioned something that I didn't realize, that we had this mechanism in place in the past?
Yes, John. So most people have seen this line on their bill since 2005. There's a PCA line item on your bill. It got put on there in 2005. It was used at Valley Electric up until some point through 2008 when it was reduced down to zero. And since 2000, it's shown as zero on a bill. And then effective May 1, that's when the change, and we will start charging a PCA again in 2000, since 2008. Something to note, the base of the PCA that will show up on members' bill will start at 1.5 cents. And the reason for that is in the year of 2022, we had an overage of power supply over budget between September and December of just over $8 million. And so that 1.5 cent base will help us capture that loss that we took in 2022. And that loss is strictly due to the volatile power market that we have been seeing over the last few years. And more specifically, in December, there was a couple of natural gas pipeline issues that affected only the Western market that contributed to over $5 million of just that $8 million in December alone.
Was that the ones there in California?
No, they run through New Mexico. There's a northern and a southern pipeline.
I remember them. I didn't remember where they were. But that's that's where most of the money went.
Yes, and so in December we were putting, we put conservation messages out or beat the peak, and really the driver of that is we were seeing the power that we were purchasing as a company we were buying power at 25 cents a kilowatt hour during these natural gas outages. And in December, if you remember, that was before the rate increase, we were charging just under 12 cents for power that we were paying 25. So that's not a good business model. And as you can see, that our bankers get nervous when we do things like that.
I remember we had the warnings back then. I still have it posted up at the library. The same ones we had back in August when we had the heat, incessant heat. We were asked to cut back on the electrical use that we were doing then, and we had the same basically in December. So it was the same message.
Same message, and really when we send those messages out, it's not just a Pahrump issue, a Valley Electric issue. In that instance, it's a West Coast issue. The available power in the Western market isn't enough at times to meet demand. And so we send those conservations because, as we all know, supply and demand, if there's not enough supply and the demand is there, prices are greatly increased on our co-op. So one of the reasons we ask for Beat the Peak is to help save costs, which benefits all the membership. And that's the main reason we ask for that.
So if you look online and read the newspapers, other electrical associations or power companies like, let's say, NV Energy is going through the same issues that we're going through, and the people there are asking, why are we paying so much money? What is the issue? And it's the same issues that we were going through, but we're not necessarily looking at them, we're looking at ourselves. But still, this is more than just us. And also the same thing that we're going through now, May 1st. If you looked online yesterday, I went and looked at NV Energy. They're doing the same thing, basically, we're doing.
Yeah, NV Energy has been using a PCA for some time now. They have just announced another increase. I believe that was going to take effect in April.
You're right, yeah.
And so, but if you look at our rates compared to theirs, they're very similar, which indicates they're experiencing the same pain points in the power market that we are. And it's also encouraging that a little co-op like us versus a huge company like NV Energy, that we are doing the right things and able to come in with our buying power being much smaller than theirs, and we're still able to have competitive electric rates. So I thought that's an encouraging thing as well.
Yeah, we're holding our own. We have good leadership. And so, yeah, this is great. So we're going to be looking online also to see what's happening in the future. You said there's going to be graphs.
Yeah, and so what we are one of the best tools for information as there are billing changes and things like the PCA come into place is our website. And you can reach that at www.vea.coop. And typically if there's something impactful that's coming up or happening in the moment, we'll have a banner right at the top with a read more kind of announcing that. So currently there's an effective May 1 changes that are at the top of the website, and if you click at that, there's there'll be an article, there's graphs that some we created, some of them we get from the Department of Energy, so you can see that it's not just a valley problem, that it's a nationwide problem, and in some instances a West Coast problem. And so we want to also not only is the message of, hey, you're going to see higher impacts on your electric bill, we always look at ways of how can we also help our members. And so a couple of ways that we've identified to help our members is there's a tool that we have called budget billing. And what budget billing is, instead of seeing high peaks on your power bill in the winter months and then the high summer months, it basically does an average for your last 12 months of billing. So for instance, for my home in January, February, and in the peak August summer months, July, August, I see $300, $350 power bills. But in the springtime, I run more in the 140 range. Mm-hmm. By using an option like budget billing, my bills are flat around close to $220 a month every month. So it's easier to budget. and you don't see those spikes that you would see with the seasons. And another thing that we are able to do on our broadband side is for all of our consumers that use broadband, we're able to sign up and become a partner in the ACP program through the federal government. And what it is a $30 grant subsidy that gives you a $30 discount off of your broadband bill. And there are a lot of qualifiers. An easy one is, do you have kids that attend, Nye County and Esmeralda County schools, and in our Sandy Valley area to the Clark County school there that receive reduced or free lunch, you qualify. If you receive SNAP benefits, Medicaid, there's low income requirements. And so all of that information is on our website, and it's really easy to sign up. It takes a couple of minutes. And then once you sign up, we are able to act on your behalf and collect that monthly for you. It's very little work on the membership, and it's an easy way to save $30.
So that's basically it in a nutshell. And we're taping this in the first part of April, almost the middle of April. And Valley Electric will be at our Earth Day event on April 22nd at Petrick Park at the Bob Root Community Center. And I'm sure if you've had some questions, you might even have a little box over there for questions. If people had, they could write the questions down. You could get back to them also. So
absolutely.
Let me put that out there. Mm-hmm. So if you have questions on that day, write them out. And I'm sure Valley Electric will get back to you on that date if you're not comfortable with using the internet or other means.
And one more event I'd like to share as well for members to get in-person answers is our annual meeting is June 16th at 6:30 p.m. and we'll open our doors at 5 p.m. And so that time before 5 and 6:30, you're welcome to ask staff questions, and then we'll also have an open format during the meeting. So the best way to know what's going on and to be informed is just to come ask and get the answers that you seek. And we encourage and we'd love to see you there.
And that's going to be at your community center?
Be our community center, our VCC at our Valley Electric campus.
Okay. Well, thank you, Matt, for taking time out with us. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, John.